Welcome to Class 6. We called this one Run 2 at Once, and that title is intentional. For the first 5 weeks, we've been building the foundation. You set up Claude. You built your manual of me. You created your prompt folder. You learned how to give Claude a proper instruction. That was all setup, all practice, all runway. Today is the first time we use all of it together. No new concepts, just your first real workflow. 2 actual tasks from your actual business, running in one Claude session. One from Follow-Up Boss, one from Bold Trail or your MLS pipeline. And what you're going to notice, what's going to surprise you, is how different it feels when Claude already knows who you are. Let's put it all to work. Every week I start with the same question. How many times did you open Claude this week, outside of our class time? This is something I ask every week on purpose. The gap between agents who get good at this and agents who don't isn't intelligence. It isn't tech savviness, it's repetitions. The agents who are opening Claude 10 times a week are already pulling ahead, not because they're doing anything special, but because they're building the reflex. Think about your own experience this week. Did something work? A prompt you'd use again? Something that surprised you? Or did you hit a wall, something still confusing or frustrating? We learn just as much from the stuck moments as the wins. If you didn't finish the Class 5 homework, that's okay. We're about to add more reps right now. Everything we've done for the last 4 weeks, setting up Claude, building your manual of me, loading your prompt folder, it's all been pointed at this moment. Today is the first time you see what it feels like to use a Claude that already knows who you are. Think about hiring a new assistant. If you had to explain your whole business from scratch every time they walked in the door, your market, your clients, your voice, your communities, that's what Claude has been for most of you up until today. Every session starts cold. Starting today, that's gone. Your manual of me and your business context are loaded into your Claude project. Claude walks in already briefed. You open it and say, draft a follow-up for the lead. I met at the Canterbury Lakes Open House Saturday. And Claude knows what Terra Vista is, knows your voice, knows how you talk to clients. You'll feel it in the next 10 minutes when we actually run these tasks live. 2 tasks. You're doing both today, in one session, back to back. Not separately, not as homework. Today. Task 1 is a Follow-Up Boss follow-up. Open Follow-Up Boss right now and find one real lead. Someone you haven't touched in a while, or someone who went quiet. Don't overthink it. Just find someone who deserves a follow-up. If you have the Chrome extension loaded, this is a great moment to try Workflow 1 from your pre-class email. Paste that prompt in and let Claude scan your pipeline and rank your best 10. Pick one from the top of the list. Task 2 is a listing description or a buyer summary. Pull up a property on MLS, a current listing, an old one of yours, or anyone's listing you want to practice with. Print it to PDF, the full MLS sheet with the photos included, and drop that PDF right into your Claude chat. Claude can see the pictures, read the specs, and use all of it. Then ask it to write a listing description that leads with this property's strongest selling point, lifestyle and feel for a waterfront or amenity-rich home, or the home's best physical features for a standard neighborhood resale. Match the copy to the property. Or if you'd rather do a buyer summary, pull a property your buyer has been asking about, drop in the PDF the same way, and ask Claude to write a short note on why this property is worth their time to see. Before you go to the next slide, open the pre-class email I sent you earlier this week and find the in-meeting demonstration prompt. Copy it and paste it into your Claude chat along with your PDF. That prompt tells Claude exactly what to do. Here's the part that matters. You're not switching between 2 different sessions, 2 different tabs, 2 different prompts from scratch. One Claude session. Same context. You finish the email, you say, now let's do the listing, and you go. That's what Run 2 at Once means. Take 90 seconds to pick your lead and pull your property. 4 steps. Follow along. Step 1, and this is the one people get wrong most often. Open your Claude project, not a new chat, the project. When you open a new chat, Claude starts fresh. It doesn't know your market, your voice, nothing. The project is where your manual of me lives. That is where you always start. Step 2, feed Claude the lead context. Don't just say write a follow-up for my buyer. Give it the story, their name, when you met, what you talked about, where they are in the process. 2 sentences minimum. If you use the Chrome extension to pull a full customer briefing, Workflow 2 in your pre-class email, paste that entire briefing in now. Claude gets the whole history in one shot instead of your two-sentence summary. The output will be noticeably better. Step 3. Tell Claude what this email needs to do. Is it checking in? Trying to get them back on the phone? Responding to going quiet? That goal shapes everything. Step 4. Read it out loud. If it sounds like a template, tell Claude. Say this is too formal. Rewrite it warmer and more direct. Claude responds to feedback. One iteration usually gets you there. That's task 1. Work through it now. At this point, you should have a complete follow-up email on your screen. Not a rough draft, but a real email you could actually send. One that sounds like you wrote it, not a template. If it sounds stiff or generic, here is the one-sentence fix. Tell Claude, this email is a little formal. Rewrite it with a warmer, more conversational tone, like I'm following up with someone I genuinely enjoy talking to. That one instruction will change the entire tone. Once you're happy with it, copy it somewhere useful. Paste it into Follow-up Boss. Save it to your client emails folder, or get it into your clipboard. Then we'll move to task 2. Choose your option A or B. But first, notice something. When you write a listing description the old way, you start from scratch. You type the specs, try to make it interesting, and it ends up sounding like every other listing description in Citrus County, because you're working from the same MLS field template everyone else uses. When you do this with Claude today, notice what you do not have to type. You don't have to explain what Terra Vista is. You don't have to explain your brokerage's tone or what your ideal client sounds like. Claude already has that from your Manual of Me in Business context. You just hand it the property details. For option A, give Claude the address, basic specs, and 3 things that make this property special. Pool, golf view, updated kitchen? Give it the 3 selling points and let it build the story. One thing to keep in mind. Let Claude decide how much lifestyle language fits the property. A waterfront home or a Terra Vista listing earns a lifestyle forward opening. A Citrus Springs resale doesn't need it. The buyer already chose Citrus County, and the house is the story. Claude knows the difference once you give it the details. For option B, tell Claude who your buyer is and what they said they wanted. Then tell it what this property has that matches. Claude writes the bridge between what your buyer wants and what this property delivers. Work through your option now. Let me show you something. Look at the left column. That's what's already loaded in your Claude project from the work you did in classes 3 and 4. Your name, your brokerage, your communities, your communication style, your clients, your CRM workflow. Even the language standards, the fact that we say compensation instead of commission in client-facing content. Every one of those is something a generic agent would have had to type in themselves at the start of today's session. You didn't type any of it. You just opened your project and went. That's the math on the right. An agent running a generic, unconfigured Claude is burning 30 to 40% of their session time, re-explaining who they are before they even get to the task. You skipped all of that today. You ran 2 real tasks, a follow-up email and a listing or buyer output, in about the same time it used to take to write one of those things from scratch. That's the personalization payoff. I want to show you what this looks like when it's not a class exercise. This is a real Monday morning workflow. 8 o'clock, you open your Claude project, no setup, no re-explaining, you're just in. 8:05, 3 FUB follow-ups you've been putting off, 12 minutes, 3 personalized emails, done. 8:17, 2 new listings that need MLS descriptions. Paste specs plus 3 highlights each. 8 minutes, 2 descriptions. 8:25, buyer showing Saturday. 3 properties. Paste each one, tell Claude what your buyer wants, get a why see this paragraph for each. 10 minutes. Print and bring them Saturday. 8:35, you're done with what used to take 2 to 3 hours. And it all sounds like you, because it came from a Claude that knows you. Today you ran 2 tasks. The homework this week is to run 2 tasks on your own. By week 10, this is your Monday morning. 3 things to walk out with. Number 1, your Claude project is your tool. Not a new chat, not a blank screen. The project. The one with your Manual of Me in Business context. If you forget everything else from today, remember this one thing. Open the project. Number 2, context is the raw material. The agents who got the best outputs today are the ones who gave Claude the most to work with. Not prompt tricks, not special formulas, just specifics. Lead name, what they said, what you want to happen, more detail in, better output out. Number 3, this gets better. Every time you tell Claude that's not right, make it warmer, you're calibrating your instincts and refining your system. The first email is good, the 10th will be great. 4 items this week. Number 1 is the most important. Run the 2-task session again on your own. Not in class, not with me here. On your own. Pick a real few bleed, pick a real listing or buyer property, and time yourself. I'm going to ask next Thursday how long it took. Number 2, add one thing to your manual of me. After today, you know something about your workflow that Claude should know. A neighborhood, a client type, a phrase you always use. Open your project and add it. Takes 3 minutes. Number 3, save your best output. Whatever you produce today that you'd hand to a client, save it to your Claude work folder. This is how your library starts. Number 4, bring something to class 7. We're doing the listing description machine next week. Coming with the current listing and the MLS data sheet, we're going deep on description start to finish. What you just did was not a practice exercise. The email you wrote for that lead in Follow-Up Boss, you can send it tomorrow. The listing description or buyer summary, that's real content you can use with a real client. 6 weeks ago, you came in here and AI was something you'd heard about. Today you ran a workflow, 2 tasks, 1 session, in your own voice. That is not a small thing. Class 7 is the listing description machine. We're going deeper. Input form, style training, the full workflow from specs to polished description in under 5 minutes. Come in with a listing. See you next Thursday. Before we close out today, I want to give you one more thing. A bonus project I want every one of you to set up before next week. It is called FSP Property Intel. Think of it as your second Claude project, after the one you set up in Class 4. The first project, Claude, as my business partner, knows you, your voice, your market, your brand. This second project knows how to do one specific job, and it does it really well. Take any property address, do the homework you would normally have to do yourself, and turn that homework into a professional deliverable you can hand to me, hand to another broker, or send to a homeowner who has never heard from you before. Quick note on why we are doing this in Claude Desktop and not in a regular chat at Claude.ai. You cannot put a project inside a project. So if you go to Claude.ai and just open a chat, you are either inside your Class 4 project, which does not know how to do property intel, or you are outside of it, and Claude has no idea who you are. Claude Desktop solves both of those problems at once. It has access to all of your projects. It runs the Chrome extension that goes to Zillow and Redfin and pulls the data. And the context you've built up in your Claude work folder stays available across everything you do. One Claude. Many jobs. All your background. The whole kit is in your post-class email. 5 minutes to set up if you already have Claude Desktop running. 10 if you're starting from 0. Here's what this skill actually produces. Same address goes in. 2 very different things can come out, and you pick which one based on what you are trying to do. If you are talking to me about a listing, or trying to figure out where a home is priced relative to the market, the project produces an internal pricing brief. 3 to 4 pages. Full close comp set in 2 tiers. A specific recommendation on what to do next. And that recommendation always respects the $25,000 bracket rule. No more dropping a price by $10,000 and burning the listing for 0 new eyeballs. If you are trying to get in front of a homeowner who is not on the market yet, somebody on a street you are farming, somebody whose home you'd like a chance at, the project produces a 1-page value preview letter. BHHS, branded, ready to print, ready to mail. It opens with specific facts about their home that prove you've done the work. It names the Citrus County conundrum. Why what is inside the home matters so much more than the dirt it sits on. And it asks for 5 to 10 minutes inside the house to give them a real number, not a 30-minute listing presentation. Evaluation. 2 very different deliverables. 1 project. Same address. 5 steps. 10 minutes if you are starting from 0. 5 if you already have Claude Desktop and the Chrome extension running. Step 1. Install Claude Desktop on your computer if you don't have it, plus the Claude in Chrome extension. Both are free. Both come from Anthropic. The Chrome extension is the piece that matters most. Without it, Claude can only see search result snippets when you give it an address. With it, Claude can go to the Zillow page, Scroll through the price history, pull the tax records, find the comps, all the work that makes the deliverable look like you spent 2 hours on it. Step 2. In Claude Desktop, create a new project. Call it FSP Property Intel. Step 3. Open the project instructions text file from your post-class email. Select all, copy, paste it into the custom instructions field of your new project, and save. Step 4. Type an address. Tell Claude whether you want a pricing brief or a customer letter. Watch what comes out. Step 5. Print it or copy it into Word or ask Claude to revise something before you print it. The full setup kit is in your post-class email. 5 steps, and you're running.